I'm the Beginner Crafter. Welcome to another WIPTube, or welcome back if you've been here before. And I'm going to show you what I've made in February. I do have to say, this month I had a bit more trouble. Also working on some things because I was traveling a bit, not too much. So it's not like in January where basically half a month I was not around. But there was a little bit of traveling. Some projects didn't get as much love as I wanted, and also I'm a little bit late making this video because I have another distraction. So it may be that also going forward I may not work as much because I'll be busy doing stuff around my distraction. So let's start with cross stitching, and the first one I have is Avarice. I guess I'll show first my projects that didn't get too much love. Avarice is one of them. I only stitched 180 stitches on Avarice, and most of it was obviously focused on this page. Just adding some details so that it looks slightly better, but with 180 stitches you can barely notice any difference around there. And to be honest, I worked on it such a long time ago that I can't really say for sure where the stitches went. I think they were mostly around this area and a little bit off over there, but I really can't notice too much of a difference. And maybe when you see both pictures at the same time, you will see it a little bit better yourselves where the difference exactly is. Then Envy, so the second of 7 Deadly Sins. I did buy floss to fill in some areas that I didn't work on the first time. So it is a little bit less white in this area here, but there are still a lot of white patches and it's still not showing too much, maybe apart from the border area that you can clearly see. On Envy I worked 207 stitches, so actually more than on Avarice. So you can see it's slightly better, but still a long way to go, and yeah, this month didn't work too much on it. Then Miranda, which got 310 stitches, so a bit more, but also I got a little bit bored with it, and by that I mean the fact that there are so many confetti stitches around here that I'm really tempted to move on to the next page, just because there are fewer confetti stitches, I think, at the moment over there, and also it's just so much easier to work over there because it's also a bit more comfortable, taking into consideration the fact that over here the page, not the page, but the canvas finishes, so it's a bit more difficult to stitch properly. I think I finished a page, although I'm not sure here. I really need to next year maybe change a little bit my setup for how much I've worked. during the month to include something like milestones. And for example, finishing a page is a milestone. And I know for sure I finished a page on Mini Marvellous Garden. I'm not so sure about Miranda. It is possible, but it's also possible that no, I just filled up a little bit and it's close to being finished, but not yet. So that's basically it. And in Miranda I was working mostly those areas here where you see the parked threads. I think I did fill some white areas as well with new piece of thread, but I'm not exactly sure as well, because 310 stitches is more than what I had in Avarice, and also Miranda itself is a smaller piece, so the difference is a little bit bigger. But I think I worked on Miranda at the beginning of February, so right now I don't remember too much. So it's still yeah, not much difference. I hope to do better in March, but we'll see how that works. And Mini Marvellous Garden, which got quite a lot of love, but it is my focus piece for the year, so that's kind of why. Mini Marvellous Garden, I stitched 2,511 stitches, so really nice progress. I did go quite a long way down on this page already, so you can see this flower very nicely, much more detail. I did put a few stitches on the previous page, and I finished that page, page number 1. Yes, page number 2 is still not finished. So I have a finished page, which I'm very happy about. I'm close to 66%, so 2/3 of the picture, which I'm also very happy about. So yeah, what's left to do is just keep on working on it. There are quite a lot of white spaces here as well, mostly because those colors appear on this page. So for example, either I have already those threads parked, or I will prefer to work on those areas once I have this thread going, because I know it will continue. Oh, and I also finished, I think, 2 colors already. That's also a milestone that I would like to note in case I forget. I finished 2 threads, I think, so those colors will no longer be necessary in this picture, and this is great. Less or fewer colors to worry about, fewer colors to change, which I hate doing. I hate changing threads. I would really like the idea of having just one color thread all over, which I guess means I should do a bit more like monotone pieces, but also they are not as pretty most of the time, so this is what I have. Lots of colors, lots of changing thread, but the effect is worth it, so I still like working on those pieces. And now the knitting part. So obviously the sweater, Ruska Pullover, which I have to finish in March. I am close. I did work quite a lot of rows in the body. I'm on row 90 of the body, and I'm getting close to where I need to split, because there will be like split on the sides, and the front part will be a little bit shorter than the back part. And I think when I get to 100 or 110 rows of the body, I will be at that point where I'll be able to split, because I want my sweater to be long. I think the designer showed the sweater. It was not really a crop sweater, but not being very long, like not really going over the hip area. And I definitely prefer if my sweaters are longer than my bottom, let's say. So I usually have to make, usually make not so much, because I haven't made too many garments, but it takes me longer to just knit or crochet whatever I have to crochet. So I think 10 or 20 more rows should be enough for the splitting. And then, yeah, I only need to split and finish, and then also obviously weave in all the threads that I still have to weave in. And the last project I worked on is the Bloom Between the Lines wrap. I haven't worked too much on it because after working for such a long time on the sweater with very thick needles, going back to 2.5mm needles was scary. So it was difficult to work on. So I only did like half a repeat. So now I have 10 repeats done and I only need 7 more. And I just add length to it because the pattern doesn't change. It is beautiful, but it just doesn't change anymore. So I don't know, I think it's about a meter, maybe a meter 20. So I don't know, a yard and a half long, and obviously it should be longer, and of course it will be blocked, so it will grow that way as well. And unfortunately, because I left it for so long, I had trouble with the blue thread. It just knotted so much that I had to cut thread twice, I think, just to be able to untangle what was happening. So yeah, that also spoiled my mood and fun with working on this project, but I managed to push and get done. I'm not sure how it will be in March, because I really need to finish the sweater. This is like a must. So this will be my focus for the month when it comes to crafts that are not cross-stitch related. And I guess after I finish, only then will I go back to Bloom Between the Lines. I have started, well, I have returned to the rug, the unfurled rug that I was doing also a long time ago, because I managed to buy yarn to be able to finish it, and I started working on it already in March. So that's some progress as well. But also I really need to focus on the sweater, on the Ruska pullover, and only then will I go back to other crafts and other areas of work, just because this is what I need to do. If you've liked the video, please click the thumbs up. Consider subscribing if you are not subscribed so that you can see all the progress that I'll be making in the future with either cross-stitching or knitting or crocheting or other crafts, because I also do some other things, although not as frequently, but you can also see those in the future. Thank you for watching and hopefully see you next time. Bye!